Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Amplify Show. I'm your host Tyler Hudson. Now let's get started. At the end of our last video, we had just discussed some of the most influential teachers when it comes to public speaking in ancient Greece. While the Greeks were arguably the most influential when it comes to public speaking as we know it, they weren't the only ones. We now must turn our attention to ancient Rome. It is important to note that while the Greeks did influence the Romans heavily when it comes to public speaking, the Romans then iterated on those ideas that the Greeks had brought them. We have two major players in ancient Rome when it comes to how we see public speaking. First, we have Quintilian. Quintilian not only has one of the coolest names of all time, but he had some pretty big ideas when it came to public speaking. You might even call them quintessential. In his work, Institutes of Oratory, Quintilian talks about a free liberal education from birth all the way through adulthood. Quintilian lived in Rome during the establishment of the Roman Empire. However, he longed for the ideas that came with the freedom of speech and expression. Quintilian advocated for education on philosophy, rhetoric, and even physical education. So if you hated middle school like I did because in gym class Lee Majors beamed you in the face with a dodgeball, you know who to blame. Quintilian was also very focused on the morality of public speaking, but we can talk about that a little bit later. The big kahuna in Rome was Cicero. Cicero wrote numerous works on public speaking. He was a Roman orator and a statesman. In his most famous work, The Orator, Cicero talks about how you can put political freedom and persuasive speaking together. Many historians have argued over if Cicero wrote the famous work on public speaking called Rhetorica ad Herennium. Whether he wrote it or not, this work is the earliest known Roman text on the subject of rhetoric. This ancient text gave us what we know as the 5 canons of rhetoric. I won't bore you with what all the canons mean, but the canons are invention, pronunciation, disposition, style, and memory. These canons have shaped a lot of what we know about public speaking today. As I mentioned previously, ancient Romans were very concerned on the morality of public speaking. So before we go, I have a few questions for you. First, what is ethical public speaking? Why is the truth so important as a public speaker? Let me know down in the comments, but as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.